What are microaggressions?
What are microaggressions?
What's microaggressions?
What are microaggressions?
Is it microaggressions? Microaggressions!
Microaggression.
I'm Rashayla Marie Brown. I'm the Assistant Director of Multicultural Affairs at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. Microaggressions are essentially either verbal or non-verbal ways that we might communicate either intentionally or unintentionally inequalities or derogatory statements towards any group of people based off of their racial identity or their class affiliation or anything that we would consider a part of their larger identity.
I started to introduce myself as Uni, not Yunsan, but Uni is not nickname I use in Korea. It's Americanized name to make it easier for the native Americans to not have a hassle calling me, and so that there is no barrier to be friends. I actually experienced that really drastically because when I was uni, I was more approachable, I was more easier to talk to. That's how I felt from different people, and especially people who I met in first time. And when I was Yunsan, it was harder for them to remember my name, and then when they can't remember my name, they hesitate to call my name, and that just becomes the whole thing about like I can't be friends with you. So that was just my microaggression that was done to me.
Experienced microaggressions most of my life. I remember from elementary school to high school, people used to ask me where I was from. They asked me like, why do I talk so white? Like, is my mom white? And I went to a predominantly black high school and middle school. It was a city school, so it was 90% black. They used to ask me constantly, like where I was from. I was born and raised there. I was born and raised in that city, in that town. And at one point, they started asking me if I was Chinese because of my eyes and whatever. And like, I guess I was different, and I don't know. It came to a point where I used to get so sick and tired of it that I would just say yes. Because I remember one time I was taking a prom photo, and the photographer asked me to open my eyes, and I told her they are open. And she was like, "Are you Chinese?" And I was just like, "Yes." And she was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Oh, my bad. I just knew you was Chinese. I knew you looked at why your eyes was small. I didn't mean to offend you." It was just like, why? I don't know. People like I said, they always try to project something onto me because they think they know me, I guess. I don't know. They'll talk to me for 5 seconds and summed up my whole life for me, and it just comes to a point, it's just like, you don't know me. Just, I don't know. Like, even the camera lady, I think it got to a point where I just took something out on her because like I just got tired of people trying to treat me so differently because of the way I walk, talk, acted, what I was into. And it just came to a point where I just would lash out. Well, not lash out, but I would just express some sort of type of anger or something towards people without me like thinking about their side of the story, because so many other people who ignorantly came to me saying this and that.
If you yourself have experienced something that you perceive as a microaggression, that there's always a way that you can gently confront the issue without alienating the person that you're speaking to. I think it's really important to keep in mind that though we shouldn't have situations where a larger group of people are kind of dealing with the daily effects of racism, classism, sexism, ableism, any of these isms that affect our society, that they might disproportionately affect one group of people, but that they're also about conversations. So I think it's important to keep in mind that if you find yourself in a space where something is potentially offensive to you, that you directly address the person that has said that, and try to do it in a way that doesn't publicly shame them, but allows for open dialogue so that you can actually create a space for that person to learn. And do not feel like you have the responsibility to educate all of the people around you, but do understand that if you are capable of putting yourself in that position, that will be a much more fruitful space of dialogue and potentially change in your educational experience and just in life in general.